Welcome to What's the Deal with Sam? Starring Sam Lilly. Join Sam as he discusses a wide variety of topics.
Bad
Now
Thank
let's
you.
start the show.
Thank you.
What's the deal with social media? It's like dead and buried. I look, I'm gonna say that my little note for this was to be like, oh, they changed Instagram to having, 5 hashtags only, which is a thing to complain about. But I have a bigger thing in that I feel like social media just kind of sucks now. And that's going to be the thing we're ranting about today. So basically, I think that social media has sort of this thing where it was pretty good for a while. And there were a lot of different like sites you would go to, and usually different like websites and stuff would have kind of their own identity, their own thing. So you'd go to different places to have a different like feeling. You have a different crowd there, a different focus, and they were all kind of unique. And if you look at them now, a lot of these platforms have become sort of they want to be everything, they want to do everything, and I don't think they're all very good at it. So like for example, I feel like you used to go to Twitter and it'd be like, oh, these are little short whatever things on here. And it's good for like, little information, bits of news, promotions, people doing funny things. Facebook was the thing you went on because there were people where you had like friends and stuff on there. MySpace had this little music player thing. That was kind of its big deal. It was like, oh, feature your music on here. And like, just different places have little stuff like that. TikTok, well, it's a bit later, but I guess like TikTok had this little short video thing going on, kind of like Vine before that. Snapchat's about like quick pictures to people or whatever. Like Instagram was about photography, believe it or not, to actually taking still images and sharing that with people. And like, even YouTube was just, I mean, like in the beginning, I guess YouTube was more like, it's evolved a lot over the years. Where it's been like, hey, post a video, and like sometimes you just post random whatever home movie type stuff, and then people started doing, like, I can't get into Hollywood or something with this, but I'm throwing this out here as my indie project or whatever, so people can see it, kind of thing. And boy, is it different than that now. Boy, is it very even blown past the personal bloggy kind of stuff into like we're just kind of like businessy kind of stuff now. It's interesting. It's definitely different than it used to be. And I think that what I'm trying to get at here, though, is that I feel like all of a sudden every social media platform is trying to kind of do everything. All these platforms love the idea of let's do text post things, let's do pictures, let's do videos. We'll host videos, short form videos, maybe long form videos. Let's do all of us have live streaming as well. We'll have our storefronts where people can buy stuff. And it just kind of feels like everyone is just doing everything. And every place kind of loses its identity over that. And so it is easy to go from one platform to another and kind of keep doing sort of the same thing with different audiences. But it also just means like it's just kind of everything blends together. And a bigger issue is that like everything is so monetized and so like so messed up now. They've gone to the point where monetization kind of took over everything. And so, who gives a shit about people being able to see what they want to see and have their timeline be in chronological order and just being able to actually find things that are trending or whatever? Why don't we just have people pay to have their things promoted, pay to be seen by people who don't even necessarily want to see them? They want to see things that won't be shown now because they other people are paying money to be in front of their face instead. We'll make it so that it's harder for people to get discovered now, where it's a point where you almost have to pay to be seen anymore to get into these algorithms. Algorithms are fucked beyond belief, and they constantly change, so you can't even really chase them because they'll change and they won't even tell you how they change. And honestly, they probably didn't even know how they change. You probably just tweak something and it's like stuff works differently now, and you just kind of have to figure it out, and then I guess adapt to that, entirely change how you use an entire platform for that, or or don't, and just have it be shittier for you because somebody flipped a switch somewhere, changed a number, did whatever. And it's also feels really impersonal as well. And that's probably my biggest issue with social media myself, is that one of the things that used to be really nice about a lot of these platforms is the ability to like find other people and connect with them over something that you have in common, or have conversations about something, whether you agree or disagree with each other on it. You could like do that. You could find those things, and you could it would be fun. It would be like interesting. It would be a thing to actually engage. But now it's just really hard. They're like, yeah, don't they don't want you to find anybody that's going to be bad for monetization stuff. They don't want you to like be able to find people who are smaller creators or whatever, or just regular people on platforms. So the people that you do find are these big platforms, and people who like don't have time to like sit down and actually engage with comments that they're getting, because like I understand you get 100 comments, you're not going to sit here and meaningfully respond to all of them, but you might bot all of them, or have somebody be your social media person to check these things or whatever and do it. And so it's not actually you anyways. You're not connecting with the people on the other side of the account, the people you're trying to connect with, that you thought you were. There's people getting bots for that, people getting services for that to even do that even further, to just chat with people or whatever, and give that illusion. There's so much shit to make it so this like people aren't connecting with each other online anymore. And it does feel like a lot of times people are just shouting opinions out into the void. They're just not being seen by anybody, and even if they do, people aren't engaging with it when they are getting seen. And I totally get why people are starting to do this thing where they're like, that I want a dumb phone, I don't want to check fucking online shit anymore, everything sucks, everyone's so polarized, and every fucking thing there is ever now, and nobody can really have a conversation because they can't find a middle ground. Like, you're either with me or you're against me. You're part of the solution or you're part of the problem. There's no place for anyone to even converse and come together in any kind of way. It's like you either are my echo chamber or you're someone else's echo chamber, and there are no other rooms available. No other chambers may exist, and this kind of leads people down this path of, well, you have two choices now, I think. Some people are taking the choice to be like, you know what? I mean, choices if you want to get out of this. The one choice is like, you know what? I don't need this shit anymore. I'm going to get a dumb phone. I'm going to just start going outside and talking to people in real life and just trying to be like a normal person before the internet was everything. Before every device that I have was a smart thing. That it was an AI thing that it can do everything for me, and I connect to people from any place ever. I'm going to go back to a simpler kind of way of living and see how I like that, which is, for most people, a very healthy thing, I think. That's probably a good thing to do. So I get that. For me, though, I'm taking a bit of a different approach, which I think is the other reasonable option, which is to basically start over elsewhere. And it's hard. It sucks. Because it's really easy to look at any other of these like unknown or lesser known platforms and be like, well, nobody's here, I want to use this thing that's kind of like these platforms I used to use, like the Instagram of yesterday or the Twitter that I used to know, things like that. And it's like, these places exist, but you have to go to them and just give them a chance. And that's hard because it's like, there's not as many people there. It's not going to be as busy. It's probably not going to be the same vibe anyway because people are different now. It's not going to have the same kind of atmosphere as when you were first there at the time you were there because times have changed. But, eventually some of these things might start to grow. People are going to find a way. And, while it might be harder than ever for any kind of platform to break through and be as successful as these other platforms, if people are having a mass exodus to these other platforms, they can grow. These things can happen. And you can always start to have conversations with people on these platforms that are smaller or much more focused on creating these spaces that used to exist, created by people that want those same kinds of spaces. I'll go ahead and drop the quick little promo here. I not paid, not sponsored, not an ad, but I use Fuse all the time. the gaming community app thing. I use that a ton. Ever since I've been on there, I've been very invested in it, and I've been just on it daily, and it's great because it reminds me a lot of what I used to like about being on Instagram, of being able to connect with other people playing games, and that's having lots of fun conversations with that. I really love the platform, and yeah, it's nowhere near as big as Instagram or any of these other things that I've mentioned, but it's like it's serving the purpose that I wanted the whole time. You know, that hole that I had that I tried to fill with a bunch of these other. I tried, I'll go to Blue Sky, I'll try out Mastodon, let me try all these weird things, and nothing does it. This does, and it's something that's nice. And I think that, again, you can find this stuff. You can find a community and a group of people to talk to, and places that will share your interests and be catered towards the stuff that you like. And have the kind of features that you want out of it. You can find that, but you have to do some looking. You have to do a little bit of effort there, and you have to give it some time. And that's going to be the hardest thing for a lot of people like me who still want to give that a go. And to give a bit of a bright note here, I will say that I feel like out of all these platforms that I've used, YouTube has been one of the best platforms to use. I know it's not quite the same as like social media in that sense, because it's not like I'm just a person posting stuff and adding friends or whatever. I'm making content, and most people watching content are just like viewers. They don't even like necessarily say anything, right? But it's been fun to have comments. I don't always get like the most fun comments. Sometimes people are mean or whatever too. Sometimes I have videos where I get no comments, but very rarely does it feel like I'm putting out stuff into the void. I'm getting views. I'm getting comments. Some people have been around for a long time, and they'll just randomly be like, "Hey, I've been watching for 8 years. Cool channel, man. Glad to see you're still doing that." Like, oh, awesome. That's cool, right? And like, YouTube itself hasn't done any like crazy stupid shit, because they made a lot of changes. I don't like all the changes that they do necessarily either, right? But I don't think YouTube's ever had any like real big major changes where it's like, I'm done. I'm gonna like stop using YouTube if this is what they're gonna do, right? That's never happened. Whereas some of these other platforms have had issues where I'm like, this is major. I might stop using this goddamn platform. Like, I don't use Facebook. I don't have Twitter or X, either of them now. Whatever, any version of that. I gave up on Blue Sky and Mastodon. I don't have Snapchat. I kind of axed a lot of social media stuff that just wasn't good for me, that wasn't doing anything for me, and so I finally got rid of them. And I like that. It's fine. It's more freeing that way, and it's like I found stuff that I do like, and so like I'm still on YouTube. I'm still doing my best to make salvage what I can of Instagram. I'm loving Fuse and YouTube mostly. I'm using those the most, and like YouTube has been very good for this. I'll put it this way. I've never had YouTube make any like significant change for me that is like impeded me from like posting videos the way I always do. And that's something that is really important. Is I never felt like YouTube is shifting away. Like, shorts are really annoying. I don't care for those either, but I don't have to do them, and it doesn't change how I'm doing my other stuff. So fine, that doesn't really bother me. Yes, ads have gotten a little out of control. I did buy YouTube Premium. Whatever, fuck me, right? But yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out there. 2 thoughts on social media. So if you guys want to tell me about some other cool platforms that you're on, you've been finding out that might be interesting, or if you're on Fuse, hello, you can leave something in the comments. That would be cool. I don't know. And I just thought it would be. I thought it was a thing to talk about, because I don't know. I'm feeling chatty today. So, what's the deal with social media? It's like it sucks. It's like it's dead and buried with the ground. Hey, it does work.